Hi, students. Just wanted to, before I go over what we're doing for the week, I just wanted to touch base and just let you know that we are all going through very difficult times right now. And I know it's kind of hard to balance life and what's happening. So I just wanted to let you know that if you're having difficulties and you need more time to work on things, let me know. Um, I will definitely work with you. So yeah, and please try and stay safe. So I wanted to just go over a couple changes now that we've moved this class online. So this week we were looking at lists, and next week you've got your readings for dictionaries, the usual things that have been up on Moodle. But I'm adding these week 10 overview videos, and that's just a short video, just talks about what we're going to be covering this week. And then I've got questions that we've been doing. And so you do the questions for the chapter, that's there. And then you got your lab. And I encourage you, if possible, if you like, you can still work remotely or virtually with someone. If that's interests you, that's totally up to you. I encourage it if it's possible, but I do understand that it might not be as well. And then you've got your assignments. And as far as reviewing code, instead of putting partners together, I'm just going to have you create a thread for yourself and just upload it to Moodle, and then just look at two other of your classmates' code and just answer the same questions. They didn't change. Just look at the code. How is it different? Is something you really liked about it, or maybe you were confused about something? And then just post that there. So you're gonna have to, and I'll put this on Blackboard, you're gonna have to upload your code to this forum by class time. And then you'll have a whole week to review and do that. Okay, so that's important. I'll put that up here just to remember. And then I also put a discussion forum if you wanted to talk about what's going on. Maybe something, maybe you have some suggestions, or if you just want to talk about what you're dealing with right now. I'd love to join the conversation with you there. And this Romeo.txt, you'll be using that for your lab, and I believe your assignment. I'm not sure, but that file's there for you. Okay, so I want to just go over a few things that we'll be looking at this week. I just went through all of this. Next week, your assignment 9 on list will be due, and also your lab. These slides will be up there for you too. So we're looking at lists, and this is lists are like a collection. They allow you to look at data. Actually, that's kind of where we're headed. So you would have lists that be full of data that you would actually be wanting to work with, and there are methods that similar to strings that you can use, and you'll be learning about them this week. So yeah, so lists allow us to store a lot of different values in a single variable, and it just uses the indexing scheme. So this helps you to store, organize, and retrieve different values, which is very useful and when you're working with data. So the strings use brackets, as you can see. Elements can be different. They can be strings, they can be floats, they can be integers, they could be even another list. There is such thing as an empty list, and that's just a bracket. So you create like a variable, and it would just be a bracket. Lists are mutable, so unlike strings, you can change the elements within the list. And lists are basically a relationship that does mapping between an indice and an element. So the elements are what's in the list, and as you remember, we've already talked about the indexing. That's the actual place within the list. So yeah, so you typically access LIS to change certain values, to update them, delete them, or you can do other operations with them. And the way you access LIS, and by extension all other sequence types, is by using the index operator bracket. And inside the bracket is where you put the integer value. And I'll give you examples of that, and there's some in your book as well. So if you get an index out of range error, it's when you pass an integer value into the index operator that's bigger or smaller than your LIS. So that index doesn't exist. So you'll get an error if you do that here. It just means that you're assigning a value or referring to an index that does not exist yet. So that's a common error. So we can also do slice notation in lists, similar to what we were doing with strings. Remember that the index always starts with 0. So if you wanted to go through this list, lion would be 0, gorilla would be 1, monkey 2, tiger. So this should be review for you. So basically, we have this variable, this list, and we assigned it to the bigger zoo. If you wanted to grab, create another variable and grab the elements using the index 2 to 5, then if you were to print that, you would get, it would start monkey, tiger, and end at panda, because when you have an integer at the end, it excludes the end. I hope I'm not confusing you, but I think you guys pretty much have this down from 2 weeks ago, unless you forgot. It's been a while. So if we start with a number, so I start 2 and we just do the colon, it will go all the way to the end, starting with monkey, because monkey is 2. Lion is 1, lion is 0, gorilla is 1, monkey is 2. So if you just leave out the end number, it'll go all the way to the end. And similar to if you leave out the, if you would do a colon to the 5, it will start from the beginning, but it will not include giraffe because that's the 5th index. So these are the index. Okay. So you see how it works? You're mapping the element, which is the giraffe, to the index number, which is 5. And if you just pass a colon into the index, the brackets, you'll just get a copy of the whole list that will print out. You can also convert strings to list of characters. So here I created a variable with the string with my name. Then I can use the list method to create characters out of the string. So it's a list of characters. And you do that by just calling the list function. If you want to break a string into words, you use dot split, and you've already worked with this, so this should also be familiar to you. So if I have the string "How do I love thee," I can just use dot split, and it will split this one string into 2 words, individual words. So these are all individual strings. And then you can also split by a delimiter. Sometimes data, when you're looking at data files, they'll be separated by delimiters, commas, space. A space is even a delimiter. So you can actually get rid of that by using this split delimiter. And here, you just put them between the 2 quotation marks, and this is the underscore delimiter, but you could put a slash, a space, and so that's how you would get rid of. And there are times when you do this when you're working with data. So that's it. It's short and sweet. I think you should be in good shape. Tomorrow, as you know, and I'll post this on Blackboard or Moodle. Sorry, I used to use Blackboard for years. I'll post the link to the Zoom, and I believe I said I would be available from 2 to 3:30 or 4. I forgot, but I will put that up. And that's just if you had some questions on the lab or anything, or if you just want to come hang out for a little bit. I'm just going to turn the Zoom on, and if anyone wants to pop in, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, this is basically how it's going to work every week until we're finished. So shoot me an email if you have any questions. If not, I will see you online now. All right, and everyone, please stay safe. Okay, bye.